was a planning inquiry, so it was examining, as it were, the case for the commercialisation of reprocessing, and examining the safety and environmental standards which should be applied to commercial reprocessing operations. And it had come along very shortly after there'd been a Royal Commission on environmental pollution that could be associated with reprocessing. So it was, of the time, very much of the moment. It was pretty technically focused, but it was all founded on the belief that here was an international market ready to be opened up, and from which the UK could benefit.
The mission was to try and stop it in its tracks. I mean, we were thoroughly outgunned in every way, if you like, in resources, in finances, in members, in experts and everything else. But one of the most effective things we could do was to actually work a lot overseas, and we spent a lot of time travelling to customer countries, particularly Japan, and to some of the European countries. The idea being that we would work with fellow-minded groups in those countries to try and not exactly talk Thorp customers out of their contracts, but pointing out to them the problems associated with their contracts, the whole business of taking their waste back, taking their plutonium back, and so on, the costs of it compared to other options.
The trade unions had a very particular route to get to government, and they could say and do things that as managers we couldn't. And you know, the trade union set up a major campaign to get Thorp taken active, which I still think was pretty instrumental in influencing the government's decision, and I'm not sure the trade unions were ever quite given the credit that they deserved for that.
But you had to be there at the time and feel the intensity. Everybody was lobbying the government to close Sellafield down. And what we wanted to do, and we actually named the campaign that we run, we actually called it Trust Us. And what we were saying basically, irrespective of what you think of the company, what you think of the industry, trust us as workers in the industry, because we would never ever put our families at risk. We've seen at stake the future of Sellafield in its entirety, because without the licensing of the Thorp plant, the area itself around West Cumbria had suffered massive decline. A lot of factories are being closed down, and we see Thorp as the future, the well-being of the site, hoping to secure thousands of jobs for many years to come.